Good morning, BB friends. Let's do a catch up of everything that's gone on the live feeds overnight last night. If you do not want any BB28 spoilers, now is your chance to scroll on. Okay, in my last update video, I was talking about the house kind of being on the brink of exploding. It still is, and I'm going to talk about why, but nothing happened in that regard last night. However, Jason was talking too much last night. Jason was talking too much to the wrong people last night. And if that information gets back to those people, we may see fireworks today. So we're going to do a catch up of things that happened last night, but it also is mixed with some of those important conversations that I mentioned in my overnight live feed update yesterday. So the one important conversation that I want to talk about first is Devins and Rome had a conversation not yesterday, but the day before, where they were playing chess together, and Rome kind of gave Devins a heads up of like there being a little bit of some anti-vet mentality, target on the vets' backs, and basically said that a lot of people had said that Devins played a cutthroat game in Survivor and that he is not to be trusted. To which Devins then replies and says, basically, like, I'm closest with Angela, Dee, Barrett, and Drew. Who do you think are bigger Survivor fans and would know more about how my game was than them? And why do you think they want to be close to me? Because I'm loyal. But in doing that, in saying all those names and saying they are loyal to them, does that not group you all together as an alliance? Time that it happened, I didn't include it in an update video because I was like, well, I don't know how much Rome is going to pick up on. Like, I really heavily underestimated Rome here. Later on the night before last night, when Rome planted himself in the HOH room with Dee, Angela, Devins, and a few other people, I started to notice that Rome is actually an extremely observant person. But sometimes whenever he was talking about how observant he was, I was like, okay, but are you paying attention to the right things in this game? I don't know yet. He is. So fast forward back to last night when Mama's Angels is formed. Rome and Jason are going back and forth talking about the vets working together, but they never specifically, when they talk about them working with newbies, they never specifically like name people or anything like that. They're just saying that like Devins has the boys, Angela has the girls kind of thing. Jason decides last night to tell Drew and Melody, which Melody I don't really care about, but tell Drew that his main targets next week, if he wins HOH, is Angela and Devins and just the vets in general, because they are taking away from the newbie screen time. He said that his number one target is Devins because he thinks that Devins is stealing his jokes. If that's happened, I haven't caught on to it. I genuinely don't know what he's talking about when it comes to that, so I have no idea. Pretty much like told Drew, like, we see you younger boys being played by Devins, like he's just playing in your guys' face. He has told Drew that all of his like sentimental moments with Angela have been faked, which I don't think that's actually true. Like there was one time where he said, like, Jason was very upset earlier in the morning today, right after the photo shoot, and we saw that on feeds, but according to him, like, that was fake, and he just wanted Angela and Devins to see him crying, but, like, didn't really say why. I don't think that that's true. I'm just confused on why he's doing this. So, that's, like, the main thing that happened last night, and when I say people have just been arrogant, like the whole Red Corner Alliance is very arrogant and thinks that they are running Dee's HOH. Mama's Angels after last night think that they're running Dee's HOH and she's going to put Haley up. Honestly, it like if I'm being, completely objective, the crossovers, they think that they are also running things, and yes, they're in power this week, but they've been clocked, so like you're not running things as smoothly as you think you are. You're just in power right now. So it's just like a lot of those things that once it clicks for someone, that things aren't going as smoothly as they are, there's going to be some people that are really upset to find that out about themselves, and they're going to probably more than likely lash out. So we will see how today goes. Today is the veto ceremony, and some of those people that think they know who's going on the block, when that doesn't happen, I don't know how they're going to react. So I'll definitely be tuned in. Not sure exactly what time it happens, but as soon as it does, I'll let you know the outcome. The live feeds just went down for the veto ceremony, so let's catch up on everything that's been happening this morning inside the BB28 house. Like I said this morning in my update, Jason did a lot of talking. Couple things I forgot to mention is a lot of the alliances that he also created last night. He created an alliance with Drew and Melody called the Court Jesters. He also created an alliance with Lyric and Rome called the Love Triangle. This morning he had a conversation with Dee, and he created a final two with her called Cafe con Leche. It's a lot, okay? And then Drew, who was the one that Jason spilled all of his plans to last night, has already had a conversation with Dee, Angela, and Devins, letting him know all of that information, as well as Devins and Angela have filled in Barrett. So the whole crossover alliance is now aware of Jason's plan. Obviously, Jason has safety this week. There's nothing they can do about it. And they're just kind of hoping that he doesn't come into power next week. Devins and Angela are pretty upset about this because of some of the like personal things that Jason had said were game related. For example, like the conversations that Jason has had with Angela that were more of like a sentimental nature and about being part of the LGBTQ community and her son, those different things like that. For Devins, Jason last night made this treat because today is Devins' daughter's birthday. So he made this treat that Devins is able to have. They're going to have like a little celebration. And honestly, I think that they're just feeling really slighted because like while game is game, and I typically don't even really have like an issue with people using personal things like this as strategy. I think it's more so the going around and like making fun of them behind their backs because of him doing these personal things to them. When like genuinely last night when it got let out that Jason had made this stuff for Devins' daughter's birthday, he was in literal tears because he was like, that's just like such a kind thing for someone to do in here. He just was like so emotional about it. Red corner people were all still trying to kind of push Lala to be the replacement nominee. Dee was pretty much letting them know like it's not going to happen. It's going to be Ashley. I'm fully expecting Ashley to be the replacement nominee when feeds come back up. Haley continues to piss people off, including Dee herself. She had a wonderful cam talk to us. Haley, she literally, her and Dee were talking, and Dee was pretty like, they were talking about a vote scenario between Ashley and Taylor, and Dee was like, oh, we have until like Thursday to figure that out, like it's fine. And Haley was like, no, like we have to do everything today. And Dee was like, we do? Like I don't think that's how it works. Haley literally responds to her and's like, oh my gosh, sweetie, you're so pretty. I don't know how Dee didn't be like, no, bitch, you're dumb. So anyways, I'll be back with another update later today. I don't know that I'm going to come back right when feeds come up because I think we all know who the renom is going to be. I'm going to wait and see how things kind of play out for the rest of the day, and I'll see you this evening with another update. I know earlier in the day we talked about how we're kind of on Angela watch and Jason watch. Honestly, that whole situation is really still kind of simmering. It may take a few days for the pot to actually boil over. Today, there has not been a ton of gaming going on. Obviously, they did have the veto ceremony, and as I pretty much had already said earlier, Ashley was the replacement nominee. Mallory used the veto to take herself off the block. Let's go over voting scenarios really, really quickly. This is Monday, so obviously these things can change. So as a reminder, we do have Yash, Taylor, and now Ashley on the block. As it stands right now, Yash goes home if he is still on the block after the blockbuster. The scenario that's really the most in question is Ashley versus Taylor. But yesterday and today, both, it seems like Taylor would stay in any scenario. Today has been pretty good vibes in the house, honestly. I think after a good night of sleep, everyone going to bed early last night, they have a lot more energy today, and they're just using that energy to have a lot of fun together. Earlier in the evening, they all got together and wished Devins' daughter a happy birthday, sang to her, all the things. It was really cute, except for there was a few people missing. I know Ashley was in the diary room. Where was Rome and Lyric? Oh, here's where they were, because they were doing this. But anyways, I did see a video recently of Devins' daughter seeing that part from the live feeds, and it was really, really cute. Tonight, they are all dressed the same, and they are having a dance-off kind of thing, playing some games. It's probably taken a good hour for everyone to end up dressed the same. It started with Drew and Barrett dressing alike, and people then noticed that they were dressed alike. It moved on to Yash, and then Kamu, and then the rest of the guys, and then the girls started to do it as well. So they're just being silly and goofy and having a good time together. I figured this would probably be the best time to give an update, because I think that this is going to go on for a little bit here, and then who knows, maybe we'll get some game talk later in the night tonight. If we do, I will definitely let you know in tomorrow morning's live feed overnight update. So if you are enjoying these updates, please make sure you hit the follow button.